Hello and welcome to Euphoria. On this YouTube channel you'll find updates on my Lego city with its modular buildings, squares and little details, as well as videos on other Lego topics such as builds, ideas and techniques, and my own designs. In this series of videos, we're modifying the Sanctum Sanctorum building from the Lego set from 2022 to improve its suitability for my Lego city. I really like the design of this building, and as a traditional style city mansion, I think it easily deserves a place in my Lego city. I'm nearly finished with modifying it, and in this episode we'll finish the modifications with the final assembly of the building, as well as placing it back in its place in my Lego city. For those of you who are just joining this series of videos, I'll just quickly recap on the changes made to this building from the standard modular building set from Lego. I'm changing it so that it isn't specifically the Sanctum Sanctorum building that you find in the Marvel Universe, and it will become an ordinary city building in the style of a classic mansion house. We made some changes to the layout of the ground floor and made some improvements to the windows. We made the building slightly taller by creating separate first and second floors. We changed the windows, added internal staircases between floors, and added a lot of internal details, including a detailed interior for the new second floor. We also made some significant changes to the top floor and roof, which included making the windows slightly bigger, changing out the iconic round window in the front, and adding a different interior to that level of the building. If you're interested in the details of the changes made, both to the outside appearance and the interior details, they're all covered in the previous videos in this series. Now we're going to assemble the whole building and place it back in my Lego city. Assembly of the building shouldn't be a big deal. It's a modular building, and we've made the changes in such a way that the modular structure is retained. That's to say that each floor of the building is a separate module that just clips onto the one below, the same as the regular modular buildings from Lego. We'll assemble it here on the build table so that I can show you how it all goes together. There's an extra module to those in the set because we've split the first floor into two. Here's a picture of the floors before we made the changes. So first we have the ground floor with some external changes, including some improvements to the windows. At the back you can see that we've removed the portal in the back wall, and I've added a few small windows. The changes to the tiling are to fit in with the paving in my Lego city. Internally, we made some changes to the Lego set, including a change to the way the staircase works and the addition of a door from the corridor at the rear into the main entrance hall. Next we have the first floor module. This is the floor that in the original set had two sets of windows, so it looked like it was two floors on the outside, but it was only one rather tall floor on the inside. We managed successfully to split the floor into two without completely wrecking it, changed up the windows to make them bigger, and eventually reworked the round window in the front. We had to adjust the height of the walls and the design of columns on the facade, and we removed the changeable panel in the side wall. Internally, we added a staircase and kept most of the original details of the interior, although we removed the bookcases and the magic portal. Next we have the second floor module. This is a brand new extra floor for the building, although we used some of the parts from the original set. To make this new floor, we created a new floor plate and designed a new facade with columns and windows that fit in with the rest of the building. We included an internal staircase to reach the top floor, designed a new interior layout including a living room and kitchen, and added some furniture and fixtures to detail the interior. And finally, we have the modified roof section. Here we added one brick to the height of the roof, changed up this corner to make it consistent with the rest of the building, and removed the changeable panel in the back wall. We changed the floor plate to give access from the staircase on the floor below, and redesigned the interior to add a bedroom and a separate bathroom for the building. And perhaps most significantly, we removed the signature round window in the front of the roof, and we replaced it with a dormer window that's in keeping with the other windows in the roof, which we also increased in height by one brick. And finally, we tweaked the top part of the roof. So that finishes off the assembly of the whole building. Before I place the building back in the city, we'll just try to compare this building with the original one to see how much it's changed. Unfortunately, I don't have a copy of the original set to make a direct side-by-side comparison of before and after, but I did take some pictures of the original building, so I'll take some pictures of this modified version to see if we can compare them. The back and the side are pretty plain in both versions, although this modification is taller than the original. So we'll concentrate on the main differences, which are in the facade and side of the building. Here's a front view of the original Sanctum building, scaled to the same size and superimposed over the new one. You can see that, of course, it's the same width, but quite a lot taller. The ground floor is the same, but as expected, the difference comes mostly from the addition of the new second floor. Although the new first floor is a couple of bricks shorter than the old one, the new second floor adds another 8 or 9 bricks in height, which is about what I expected. We can also compare the side view in a similar way. The roof is also 1 brick taller, adding to the difference in height. So, although the building might look slightly stretched, I don't think the proportions look wrong, especially when looking at the front facade. We can do a further comparison of the modified build next to one of my other mocks. So here it is alongside the townhouse and apartment cafe mock, which is 3 stories high. Now you can see that the heights of the floors of the Sanctum are more like the size of those in a regular modular building. If we compare that with a picture of the original Sanctum against the same building, it becomes clear how squashed the middle floors of the Sanctum used to look in the original. And as you may remember, correcting that was just one of the reasons for starting this project. Now we're ready to place the building back in the Lego City. There's a space reserved for it, exactly where it came from, and the building goes back there the same way as the old one. It's just a bit taller, a bit nicer, and it isn't part of the Marvel universe. I think the new building looks quite impressive, facing onto the main plaza, and the new height doesn't look out of place amongst the other buildings in this part of the city, which are mostly taller buildings, such as the Ensgrave office building at the back, which is 5 stories, and the apartment building near the front, which is 3 stories. And I think it complements the town hall building behind it, which is kind of 3.5 stories, pretty well. So I think we're just about finished with making modifications to this building. There are always things you can change about a mock, and there are probably some things I could improve about this one. You may have seen in one of the previous videos in this series how I looked again and made improvements halfway through this build. So I'm not ruling out revisiting this building, and if you have any ideas for further improvements, please let me know in the comments below. But now it's time to move on to other projects. So don't forget to hit the bell button to be notified of new videos, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos on my mocks, builds, other LEGO stuff, and updates on my LEGO city.